Introducing Korean broadcast content that you won't be able to stop watching. For weary modern souls, Dr. Romantic, the quirky genius doctor of Burnham Hospital, prescribes heartwarming tales of humanity. A couple together for 7 years sees their rose-tinted glasses shatter. Can they keep their relationship alive? Discover the raw stories of youth, work, and love. Beyond what social media can show, experience the vibrant Korea through its hidden gems. Mama, the ultimate K-pop festival for global fans. Find your star in a feast of trendy music and electrifying performances. Now, the whole world enjoys it together.
The world's top decision-making body on cultural and natural heritage has officially begun its annual meeting in Busan. This is the first time that South Korea is hosting the meeting since it joined the UNESCO World Heritage Convention almost 4 decades ago, in 1988. Tensions are escalating in the Middle East after a U.S. service member was killed in an Iranian attack in northern Iraq. This comes just a day after an attack on a base in Jordan killed 2 American service members and left another missing. Spain defeated Argentina 1-0 to win the World Cup for the second time in its history. After a full 90 minutes without a goal, Ferran Torres found a breakthrough in extra time to seal the victory. Hello and thanks for joining us on Arirang News. We begin today in South Korea's port city of Busan, where the world's top decision-making body on cultural and natural heritage has officially begun its annual meeting. For the first time since joining the World Heritage Convention in 1988, South Korea is hosting the UNESCO World Heritage Committee, bringing together delegates from around the globe. Our culture correspondent Choe starts us off.
The 48th session of the UNESCO World Heritage Committee officially opened in Busan on Sunday, marking the first time South Korea has hosted the organization's annual meeting. Nearly 3,000 delegates from 196 UN member states, as well as international organizations and NGOs, are taking part in the 10-day session at Bexco. The opening ceremony showcased Korea's cultural heritage through performances inspired by traditional rituals and dances.
It is meaningful that this session is hosted by the Republic of Korea. The country counts 17 properties inscribed on the World Heritage List, reflecting the depth of Korean history and diversity. Together, your sites speak to universal questions: how societies remember, how they live with nature, how they transmit knowledge.
K-pop artist G-Dragon, serving as honorary ambassador for the committee, also called on the international community to work together to protect heritage threatened by conflict and climate change.
Protecting heritage is not simply about preserving the past. It's about building peace for the future. I believe art too can play a powerful role in protecting the world heritage of tomorrow.
Beginning on Monday, delegates will begin reviewing 33 proposals, including 30 new nominations and 3 requests to modify existing World Heritage listings. One of those requests is South Korea's proposal to expand the Ketbal, Korean tidal flats World Heritage Site. The delegates will also discuss the proposed Busan Declaration, which aims to add collaboration to UNESCO's existing 5 strategic priorities of credibility, conservation, capacity building, communication, and community. Over the next 10 days, this venue will become the center of discussions on the future of World Heritage. Delegates from nearly 200 nations will review on how existing sites are being protected, decide on new heritage sites, and tackle critical threats like the climate crisis. 정혜림, Arirang News, Busan.
So as UNESCO's World Heritage Committee opened its annual session in Busan, President Lee Jae-myung promised to cooperate with the international community to defend world heritage and peace. Our top office correspondent Yoon Jung-min reports.
Working toward a peaceful future through global solidarity during times of division. That was the core message by President Lee Jae-myung speaking at the opening ceremony of the 48th session of the World Heritage Committee on Sunday in Busan. He took note of this year's meeting taking place in South Korea as UNESCO commemorates the 150th anniversary of the birth of independence activist Baekbum Kim-gu, adding that his recognition of culture and peace aligns with UNESCO's spirit of constructing the defenses of peace.
높은 문화의 힘을 바탕으로 인류의 소중한 유산을 함께 지키고 세계의 평화와 번영에 기여하는 나라로 백범 선생의 뜻을 이어가겠습니다.
The president also highlighted the remarkable economic growth Korea has achieved through international cooperation, noting that it has transformed itself into a cultural powerhouse that connects with people around the world.
원조를 받던 나라에서 원조를 하는 나라로 나아가 문화의 가치를 함께 나누는 나라로 성장한 우리 대한민국의 여정은 협력과 연대가 만들어낸 인류 공동의 성공 사례라고 자부합니다.
He called the country's southeastern city of Busan a living proof of how international cooperation can change the destiny of a city, saying that the city has risen from the ashes of the Korean War and grown into a global maritime city. On Sunday, Lee and UNESCO Director General Khaled Al-Anani discussed bolstering the partnership between Korea and UNESCO, noting cooperation in the areas of education, culture, and science. The UNESCO chief toured the K Heritage House exhibition hall along with President Lee and First Lady Kim Hae-kyung. Yoon Jung-min, Arirang News.
The breakdown of last month's ceasefire has triggered a fresh wave of attacks across the Middle East. Washington and Tehran are now trading increasingly far-reaching strikes, with reports of more U.S. casualties. Our Oh Se-young has more.
A U.S. service member has been killed in northern Iraq while disposing of an unexploded Iranian attack drone. U.S. Central Command says the service member died Saturday during the controlled detonation of ordnance carried by the downed one-way drone. The incident came after 2 other American service members were killed in an Iranian attack in Jordan on Friday. Another was reported missing, although unidentified remains have since been recovered and are being examined. The latest casualties bring the number of U.S. troops killed since the war began in February to 17, with more than 420 wounded. In Iran, according to the country's health authorities, at least 50 people have been killed and more than 500 injured in U.S. strikes over the past 3 weeks. Strikes between the U.S. and Iran reached an 8th consecutive night. U.S. Central Command says the operation targeted coastal surveillance and air defense facilities, aiming to weaken Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz and punish Revolutionary Guard forces for the attack in Jordan. But Tehran says one of the strikes hit the construction site of the Darkover nuclear power plant in the southwestern province of Khuzestan. Iran's Atomic Energy Organization says the site was struck by several projectiles early Sunday, condemning the attack as a violation of international law and vowing to pursue those responsible. The United States has yet to confirm it targeted the facility. The International Atomic Energy Agency says it is investigating the report. The UN watchdog says the plant remains at a very early stage of construction and contained no nuclear material, meaning there is no radiological risk. Iran, meanwhile, has continued its retaliation across the region. Tehran says it attacked American military assets at 2 bases in Kuwait, while Kuwait reported another strike on a desalination facility. Bahrain intercepted a separate Iranian attack, and Jordan says it shot down 3 missiles. The escalation follows the collapse of an interim ceasefire reached last month. With U.S. strikes extending deeper into Iran, Tehran attacking American forces and Washington's regional partners, and both sides confronting shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, concerns continue over the cycle of retaliation across the region. Oh Se-young, Arirang News.
Russian President Vladimir Putin met North Korean Foreign Minister Choe during her visit to Russia on Saturday. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Putin thanked North Korea's leadership once again for supporting what Moscow calls its special military operation in Ukraine, saying the contributions of North Korean troops would never be forgotten by Russia. Putin also thanked Choe to convey his warm regards to North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, saying he highly values the strong mutual understanding the two leaders have built. Choe meanwhile said Kim has reaffirmed his strategic commitment to further expanding ties with Russia. It's Choe's first visit to Russia in about 9 months, following her previous visit in October last year. In sports, Spain defeated Argentina 1-0 on Sunday to win this year's FIFA World Cup. The win marks Spain's second World Cup title. The final also saw both actress Son-hui and global K-pop group BTS make an appearance. Our Lee Seung-jae reports.
Spain defeated Argentina 1-0 at the New York, New Jersey Stadium on Sunday to win the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Spain controlled the match from start to finish, preventing Argentina from having a single shot on target. The defensive masterclass was a fitting end to a remarkable campaign in which Spain conceded just 1 goal throughout the tournament. However, the decisive moment came in the 106th minute of extra time when Ferran Torres found the breakthrough against a 10-man Argentina, sealing a 1-0 victory and Spain's World Cup triumph. The World Cup victory marked Spain's second title, having previously won the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. Meanwhile, actress Son-hui and K-pop supergroup BTS made appearances at the 2026 FIFA World Cup final. Chung took part in the pre-match trophy presentation as a global ambassador for Louis Vuitton, appearing alongside Spanish tennis star Carlos Alcaraz. The pair opened the Louis Vuitton trophy case before unveiling the FIFA World Cup trophy to the crowd. At halftime, BTS took the stage as one of the performers in the tournament's first ever World Cup final halftime show, sharing the spotlight with global stars including Madonna, Justin Bieber, and Shakira. The group energized the stadium with a performance of its hit song Dynamite. Member Jungkook also marked a World Cup milestone, having performed Dreamers, the official soundtrack of the 2022 Qatar World Cup, at the 2022 opening ceremony, before returning 4 years later to perform at the final on Sunday. Lee Seung-jae, Arirang News.
Korean stocks suffered a sharp sell-off this morning, triggering sell-side sidecars in both the KOSPI and KOSDAQ markets. As the KOSDAQ index plunged to the 750 level, the Korea Exchange activated a 5-minute temporary suspension of program sell orders at 10:52 a.m. This sidecar was triggered as both the KOSDAQ 150 futures price and its spot index plummeted by more than 6% compared to the previous session's close. As the market slide deepened, the Korea Exchange also activated a sell-side sidecar on the KOSPI at 11:21 a.m., with the benchmark index dropping over 4.4%. A major fire at a Coupang logistics center in the city of Incheon remains ablaze for a third day, with crews facing the risk of the building collapsing. According to the Incheon Fire Department, the fire at a Coupang logistics center has remained active more than 47 hours as of 6 a.m. on Monday. The blaze began on the 6th floor shortly before 7 a.m. on Saturday. Authorities have deployed 812 personnel and 231 vehicles, but flammable materials and the building's complex interior are hampering efforts. An evacuation order covers businesses and factories within 116 meters of the center's ramp area. Meanwhile, 168 residents have taken shelter at 2 nearby schools due to smoke and dust concerns. 31 nurseries and a nearby primary school have also been advised to close for the day. The music video for Psy's Gangnam Style has surpassed 6 billion views on YouTube, becoming the first K-pop music video ever to reach the milestone. According to P Nation on Monday, the video crossed the 6 billion view mark on Friday, roughly 14 years after it was first released in July 2012. The Gangnam Style music video has become a worldwide sensation with its humorous lyrics and iconic horse riding dance. In December 2012, it became the first video in YouTube history to reach 1 billion views. The song also peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 7 consecutive weeks, helping introduce K-pop to a global audience. Korean local governments are showing foreign tourists that Korea has so much more to offer beyond the capital. Tour buses in Gyeonggi Province are now giving visitors a glimpse into peace and division at the DMZ, as well as a hands-on K-ramen experience all in one day. Our Kim Seong reports.
A tour bus departing from Seoul makes its first stop at Imjinggak Peace Park, home to the Freedom Bridge, which was used by repatriated soldiers returning from the north during the Korean War. This is part of the Explore Gyeonggi-do EG Tour, a program that allows foreign travelers to explore some of Gyeonggi Province's must-see destinations. The first stop is the National Memorial for Abductees during the Korean War. Here, foreign visitors learn about the painful history of the war and ask questions along the way. They are able to see, hear, and reflect on the traces of the war that still remain today.
I believe that all the people who is interested in history should visit this place in order to make the history and to understand the reality of the war.
At the observatory, visitors can take in a panoramic view of the northern side beyond the civilian control line. And at the end, they get to cook ramen for themselves, experiencing Korean culture firsthand.
When I went to Hangan River, I've tried the same type of ramen there, and there was impressive experience, and I really like it. Yeah, Korean ramen is like another world.
This year's EG Tour offers 4 different courses, featuring a wide range of cultural experiences, including K-food, shopping, and even traditional Korean pottery. The program is also affordable, costing around $50 with a professional guide provided throughout the tour.
Foreign visitors love the DMZ Peace Tour because it offers a rare look at a divided peninsula, a place where peace and tensions still exist side by side.
Gyeonggi Province plans to add more courses to the tour with seasonal themes that allow tourists to experience the beauty of Korea in all 4 seasons. Kim Seoyoung, Arirang News.
This is the world now. Andy Burnham takes office as Britain's Prime Minister on Monday, replacing Keir Starmer as leader of the governing Labour Party. Burnham, the former mayor of Greater Manchester, was declared Labour leader on Friday after running unopposed to replace Starmer, who resigned after 2 years following a fall in popularity and a rebellion within his own party. Burnham will be Britain's 7th Prime Minister since 2016. His office says one of his first moves will be scrapping a planned digital ID scheme, originally designed to curb illegal migration, and redirecting the funding toward cost of living support. In Peru, at least 6 people have been killed and 21 injured after 2 earthquakes struck a mountainous region on Saturday night. The quakes hit Chupaca Province in the Junin region, about 300 kilometers east of Lima. Peru's National Seismological Center measured them at magnitudes 5.1 and 3.7, while the European Mediterranean Seismological Center reported the first at magnitude 5.6. Peru's civil defense head said about 48 homes have been destroyed and another 18 damaged, affecting roughly 300 people who are being sheltered in tents. Emergency crews were clearing debris Sunday amid concern that more victims could be trapped. In the U.S., social media influencers Andrew and Tristan Tate have been arrested after British prosecutors brought 38 new charges against them, including rape and human trafficking. The arrests made in Miami bring the total number of charges against the Tates to 59. The UK's Crown Prosecution Service said it filed the new charges after identifying 4 additional victims. Andrew Tate, 39, faces 7 further counts of rape along with sex trafficking charges, while Tristan Tate, 38, faces 2 counts of rape and 3 counts of trafficking for sexual exploitation. Britain is seeking to extradite the brothers who hold dual U.S. and British citizenship and deny all wrongdoing. The brothers also face separate criminal proceedings in Romania, where they have been under investigation since 2022. A leather jacket belonging to NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang has been sold at auction for $960,000. The Tom Ford jacket drew 65 bids from 45 collectors at Sotheby's on Friday. It sold for more than 15 times its pre-sale estimate of $40,000 to $60,000. The jacket was authenticated using photo matching to footage of Huang wearing it at a Foxconn event in Taipei in October 2023. Huang has worn similar leather jackets for more than a decade at NVIDIA product launches and conferences. Proceeds from the sale will go to a philanthropic initiative supporting a nonprofit that organizes gatherings for people in tech, science, and culture. Chu Ji-hyun, Arirang News.
Most of the central regions had heavy rain for the morning commute. Rain that's been falling across the capital area in Jeollabuk-do province will spread to more regions as the day goes on today. Then central areas could see 20 to 80 millimeters of rainfall, while southern provinces could see 5 to 40 millimeters with more breaks in the rain, which will bring hot and humid conditions. In fact, a heat wave advisory is in place for most of the southern provinces, with temperatures forecast to hover above 33 degrees Celsius this afternoon. In fact, Daegu, Gyeonggi, Gwangju, Jeju will be getting up to 33 degrees. Seoul will be topping out at 28 degrees. Monsoon rain will continue throughout the week, and with the ground already saturated, the risk of landslides and additional flood damage remains quite high. If you're having an early summer vacation, avoid valleys, rivers, and mountainous areas, and continue to stay aware of the weather.
Now that's all we have for today's noon edition of Arirang News. Thank you for watching. We'll be back at 5 p.m. Korea time. Stay tuned.